Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about ordered pairs, but I want you to start off your only warm-up problem for today for chapter 3.1 is going to be the problem of the day. So I want you to pause now, give this one a shot. You do not have to write it down, just write down the answer. So this is your warm-up for chapter 3, lesson 1. Good luck. All right, so it says a moving van travels 50 miles per hour. Use the equation y equals 50x, where x represents the number of hours. How far will the van travel in 4.5 hours? Well, if that's the number of hours, x is equal to 4.5. Okay, and then you plug in 4.5 in for the x, so you get 50 times 4.5. When you multiply that out, you get 225 miles. 225 miles. Okay, so this is what we're going to be talking about today, ordered pairs. You will see that that ordered pairs solve different equations, and that's how we're going to be using ordered pairs today. Okay, so let's get started. So today we're going to be learning about solutions of equations with two variables this time, but we're going to be using ordered pairs. Here we go. Thing I want you to write down is what is an ordered pair. Write down what an ordered pair is. So pause now, write this down. All right, so an ordered pair is written x, y. It always goes x before y. If you think about the alphabet, it goes x, y, z. X comes before y in the alphabet. It's just so fortunate that x comes before y in our ordered pair. Also, make sure these parentheses are very important. They tell me that it's an ordered pair. Those parentheses tell me that it's an ordered pair. So if something like this, 2, 3, that's not an ordered pair. We need to add our parentheses to make it an ordered pair. Okay, a pair of numbers, an ordered pair is a pair of numbers that can be used to locate a point on a coordinate plane. We're going to get into this a little bit later where we have a coordinate plane right like this, and I will give you an ordered pair of 2, 3. Okay, that relates to a certain point on this coordinate plane. That pair is part of the coordinate plane. It is also a solution of a two-variable equation. You can write those ordered pairs as solutions as well, and that's what we're going to focus on today. All right, what I want you to do is I want you to pause right now, write this down, and then I will explain the first one and give you time on the second one. So pause, write everything down there, everything, and then I'll come back to it. All right, so when you look at this, we're going to determine whether each ordered pair is a solution of y equals 4x minus 1. How we do that is I give you, or the book will give you, or the test will give you an equation, y equals 4x minus 1. It will also give you 2 points, 3 and 11. What you have to do, what is your x in 3, 11? Well, your x is your 3, your y is your 11. So what you have to do is you plug in 11 for y, and you plug in 3 for x, and you see if it's true. So, is 11 equal to 4 times 3 minus 1? Is that true? Well, 4 times 3 is 12 minus 1 is 11 equal to 11. Yes, our answer is yes, and I'm done. I checked to see if it's true, all right? So next thing you should do is plug in these next 2 points. One for your x, one for your y. Make sure you plug them in correctly. So pause now, give this one a shot. Okay, if you look at this, y, again, we have y equals 4x minus 1. Still using the exact same equation. 10 goes in for x, 3 goes in for y. So is 3 equal to 4 times 10 minus 1. Well, 3, we have 3 is 3 equal to 40 minus 1? No, because 3 is not equal to 39. Is my answer true? No, it's not, so I just write no. No, it is not. All right? Not true, because I plug in my 2 points in for my 2 variables and solve. Okay? So now on a problem like this, what you are doing is you are still plugging in your x's. Okay, so plug in your x for each of these. Plug in 2. So you're going to come up with 4 different problems where x is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Plug each of those in and then solve for y. Okay, I'll give you the very first one. This very first one says x is equal to 1. So when I do this, when I plug 1 in for x, I get 1 plus 3. What is 1 plus 3? My answer is 4. So what is my y? My y is 4, because right here, notice y is equal to x plus 3. So my point that I get out of is 1, 4. Okay, so try that for 2, 3, and 4. Pause now, give that one a shot. Okay, so when you look at this, you will plug in your 2, and you get 2 plus 3. What is 2 plus 3? 5, which means your y is 5 here. My point, 2, 5. Make sure I have the parentheses in there. Plug in 3 for x. So I get 3 plus 3 is equal to 6. 3 plus 3 is 6, so my y is 6. My answer, 3, 6. How do I get this 1, this 2, and this 3? That's the number I plugged in, which is right over here. Okay, what I plugged in, my x is known as my input, my y is known as my output. All right, so last one, I get 4 plus 3, and I set that equal to 7. What is my y? 7. As a point, I get 4, 7. Without those parentheses, it is not correct. Make sure you have the parentheses. Make sure you have a comma separating those two. And those should give you your correct answer. There you go. So looking at this problem, this is the last problem I have for you today. Okay? When you look at this very short lesson, when you look at this problem, write it down, and I want to see if you can come up with an answer before I show you. I want to see if you can use your reasoning skills to figure out how to do this answer. You are coming up, I give you an equation, and then I want you to solve for a $22 item. So pause the video, give this one a shot. All right, so when you do this problem, it says C is equal to 1.065 P. But that tells me, that's the sales tax, and it tells me that's the equation for the total cost. Because in Minnesota, if you buy something, the sales tax is also added to it. Okay, so where P is the price before tax. So if I give this equation, okay, C is equal to 1.065 P. What is P in this equation? P is equal to $22. So what you have to do is take this number and plug it in for P. So you get C is equal to 1.065 times 22. When you multiply these, 1.065 times 22, your answer is going to be C is equal to $23.43. Now, I want you to think, this is the solution of the equation. C is equal to 23.43. Now, if you look at this equation and look at your previous notes, our x was always the number we plugged in, and our y is always the number we got out, that we answered. So our x was our independent variable. It didn't matter. I gave you the x. However, now your y was the dependent variable. We only got y because we knew x. So if I had to put this solution as an ordered pair, what do you think is your x and your y? If you had to put this as an ordered pair, what do you think is your x and your y based on something we have already done. Now, this is a tough question. What would you put as your x and your y? Your x would be 22. Your y is 23.43. Now, you may be asking, how in the world did I come up with that? If you remember, 22 was that answer that I plugged in. That's what I plugged in on the previous problems where we had something like x plus 3 equals y. We knew what x was. I told you to solve for 1, 2, 3, and 4. And your x was always the number we plugged in, and your y, so y would be equal to 4 in this equation, where your point was 1, 4. That was the very first one on the previous slide. Remember, we plugged in our x. We got out our y. Same thing here. We plugged in our x. We got out our y. Okay, so if you look at those, plug in your x, solve for y. 22 was plugged in. 23.43 was what we got as our answer. Like I said, that was a very short lesson. We're going to have some homework later on. So what I want you to do is enjoy your night. I hope you enjoyed this short lesson. Doesn't happen often. Have a great night. Bye.